Hello, welcome to Caffeinated Cast-Ons. My name is Therese. I am the face behind Caffeinated Cast-Ons. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I just talk about my knitting, take you along for the ride. There's Piper. We talk about my projects and I take you through the patterns that I'm working on, needle sizes, yarn, give my general thoughts on them, how it's going, any modifications I make. Think of this as a video version of Ravelry project pages. It is Sunday, September 28th, and this is episode 77. So welcome along. Welcome if you're new. Be sure to subscribe. For all you returning subscribers, welcome back. It's been another week. I've got some whips to take you through, a Q3 update and status report on my Q3 project, and a new cast on to take you through. The first project I'm going to be talking about today is my Q3 garment, which is the Skyline Tee by Tori Yu. I think it is safe to say that I am not going to finish this garment in Q3, so I think it's definitely going to bleed over into Q4. Let me just show you where I'm at, and then we'll get into it whenever I talk about goals too. If you've been following along, I am making a garment for myself every quarter, and Q3 is the Skyline Tee by Tori Yu of Tori Knits NYC. And I was making good progress. I did have to do surgery on my shirt because there was a line, a difference of skein coloration, and so I wanted to fix that and fade it, and I did that successfully. I think it's great, but now I have to Kitchener the two pieces together. And the only time I've ever Kitchenered, or the only ever time I need to use the Kitchener stitch, is whenever I'm working on socks. So it's like 16 to 32 stitches that I'm doing a Kitchener on. 288 stitches is a whole different story. It's literally such a mental game. I have to really break it down into smaller chunks and really challenge myself to like sit still and do it. So this has been going so slowly. I started to Kitchener, I think right after Fiber Fest. I can't remember if it was in episode 76 that I started or I said I was about to start, but boy, is it daunting. So it's really hard to show and pick up this project to show you where I am at, but let's see, is this Kitchenered? I think this is. I can at least show you one section here that has been Kitchenered, and it's right here. So not where this lifeline is at the bottom, but really towards the top here. So it has been Kitchenered together. Again, there's really not a good way to show this, but yeah, I am slowly making my way around this, and I don't see myself finishing the Kitchener stitch and finish. I'd have to double check the body length and do the ribbing for the bottom hem. I don't see that happening between now and when's October 1st? Thursday? I can't recall. So I will be shocked if I get there, because even if I think I would have to do 40 something stitches a day, if not more, to even get done. I don't know. It's a lot. So I'm slowly making my way through this. It really is something that I have to like push myself to like sit down and do, just because it's not the most fun process. It very much feels like a tubular bind off or like an Italian bind off, because I'm dealing with such a long tail to work through. But other than that, I've enjoyed the pattern so much. I am knitting the size 4, and I'm knitting these on a US size 4 or a 3.5 millimeter. I'm aiming for 4 to 6 inches of positive ease, and I definitely think I have been getting that throughout as I've tried on the garment, and it's really great. The yarn I've been using is the Plucky Knitter, and then this is on the Primo fingering base, which is 75% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, and 5% nylon, and then this is the colorway Baby Love. It'll focus. There we go. But that's the yarn that I am using. I have 3 skeins total, and this is what I've got left of these 2 remaining skeins. So this should be plenty for the bottom, the rest of the body and the bottom hem. I don't know if I'm going to be adding any more length to the body. I do need to try this on after I finish my Kitchener stitch, and we'll see there. And then I think I only have an inch of ribbing for the body hem. The next project that I'm going to take you through is a pair of vanilla socks. I am working these on 9-inch circulars and very closely following the Crazy Sock Ladies pattern, vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars. So I did finish sock 1. Finally, this one took me so long to finish. I don't know what it was, but I've added the toe. Look at that color there. Isn't that so fun? I really love the way this looks. Let me move these yarn strands out of the way. I am loving the way this looks. This side's a bit prettier. But I do need my husband to try this on so I can make sure it fits. I'm making these for a coworker. I have a lifeline there in the toe just in case the length isn't right, then I can at least pull back to the toe or to the foot, add more length, and redo the toe if need be. So yeah, that's going great. And then I do have sock 2 started and casted on. I finished the cuff yesterday, and then I am just working my way on the foot length. Just look how beautiful that yarn is. It's gorgeous. I'm so in love with these socks. And then I'm working these on a US size 1, just 6-inch or 8-inch, 9-inch circulars. Why did my brain just blank on that? It's 9-inch, right? 6-inch? Boy. Tiny circulars. The yarn I am using is Miss Babs yarn, and this is on the Putnam fingering base. I got this at Fiber Fest, 2022. Come on. There we go. And then this is on the DFW 2022 colorway. And this is a fingering base, which is 75 superwash merino and 25% nylon. And here's the color Caked Up. Look how pretty that is. And then the complementary or contrast color that I am using for the toe is this by Passion. This is Passion Yarns, right? Yes, Passion Yarns. Come on. There we go. And this is 75-25% blend, and the colorway is Mochaccino. Love this color. It looks so good. I think it's really fun, really nice. Yeah, so just making my way through that as much as I can. So I'll be sure to put a progress keeper. That's just my beginning of round marker there. I need to put a progress keeper on this so I can keep track of how far or how much I get done each week. I am knitting, can't remember the exact size and according to the pattern that I am knitting, but I'm working these with 72 stitches and making them to fit a US size 10, men's 10.5 shoe. I do have a new cast on for you. I'm so excited. I love this so much. I was very eager to go ahead and dive into the Momma Jess Knits yarn that I got from Momma Jess herself, and I started a beanie. Look at this blue. I cannot get over how beautiful this is. I gotta show you it caked up. Look at that. How beautiful is that? So this is on her fingering sock base, and it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, in the colorway Midnight. And I am making the Manhattan, I can't remember if it's just called the Manhattan Light or Manhattan Hat Light, but it is another pattern by Tori Yu of Tori Knits NYC. I have knit the Manhattan before, and that is a worsted weight pattern. I made it with DK, and I am modifying again. The light, I think, is technically for a sport weight yarn, but I knew I wanted this yarn to be a beanie. At first, I thought I was going to do a musselburgh, but I was going through some of my beanies in my closet, which I have both, and I just really love the shape of the Manhattan and that it does have a 1x1 rib texture to it, and I thought it would just be so good. So I am making the Manhattan Light with fingering weight. So I did go up a needle size. I am using a size US 3. I think the pattern calls for a US 2. So US size 3, where is it? 3.25 millimeter. Did I say milligrams earlier? Millimeter. And it's just a 1x1 rib. So I haven't measured my gauge on this, but I think one skein should be enough. I'm just going to knit and see what happens, but this has been so fun to knit on. Not as like mindless as say straight stockinette, but the 1x1 is simple enough, especially since I'm in the stockinette part of the sock that I'm working on. I feel like those two are going to be great. It's something nice and easy whenever I need a mental break from kitchenering my Skyline Tee. So it's perfect. But yeah, so I just have to do a ton of 1x1 ribbing. So beautiful. I can't get over this color. All right, let's talk about goals for the upcoming week. The Skyline Tee, I just need to try to Kitchener this as much as possible. I am not confident that I'm going to finish this by the end of September. There's only a few days left, like 2 or 3 days left. And so I do have a work trip coming up in a couple weeks. And I think if I can just make it a goal to finish that shirt before I leave for my work trip, I do want to pack it to take it to wear. I am traveling up to Wisconsin for work, and it's hopefully going to be a little bit chillier than it is in Texas. And so I think having that to wear to the office would be super fun. So that's my new goal. So we are going to dip into Q4, but that's okay because I think I already have like my Q4 project on the needles. I haven't shown it in a while, but I will show that next time I bring it out or work on it. So that's my updated goal. It's just to Kitchener as much as I can every day and finish this off before my work trip. For the vanilla socks, I do want to finish the leg this week. I think I only did 30 or 40 rounds for the leg. I'll have to double check. So I think I can get that done this week. I'm not as strict on it. Again, because I do want to get down to business to finish my Skyline Tee. So that's kind of a loose goal there for the vanilla sock. And then no goal for the Manhattan, for the beanie. Between like my Skyline Tee, I've got plenty of going on. I am hopefully going to finish that before my work trip. And then I'm going to be traveling with the beanie and the socks for my work trip as far as taking some travel projects and knitting with me. I think these are going to be the perfect travel projects to have something to still knit and work on. So a beanie and a pair of socks. I think that's going to be perfect. All right, let's talk reading, watching, and listening. So reading, I did not finish Still Me. I returned it. I gave up. And I rarely DNF books. Rarely. I'm very much like, if I started it, I will just get through it. I think this is technically like the second or third book I have DNF'd or returned early. The first one was everyone in my family has murdered somebody or killed somebody. I think I was just kind of stuck in a reading rut, and I'm going to try that one again. So I guess technically it may not be a did not finish, but this one I'm not going to go back and read it. I just got really bored with the story and felt like nothing was happening. And it was taking a while to get into, okay, like what's going to be the big problem here? And so I just returned it, and I don't see myself finishing it, and I kind of don't really care what happens to the characters. I know a lot of people love Louise's character in this series. The first one was great. The second one was, like, still good, but this one just, I don't know, wasn't for me, so I did not finish that one. I did listen to my first audiobook ever. Typically I'm like a physical book or a Kindle reader, and I reread Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz. So I read that, I want to say earlier this year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's earlier this year. And I listened to it on audiobook, and man, it was just as good, if not better, to hear it from her voice, because she is the one who is reading it. And then she had people make cameos in there, so a bunch of her fellow actors were reading their parts in the book too. So that was super fun. Man, it just like made her story hit so much more to hear it from her. So that was great. And then now I'm currently listening to reading The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. This is my first Freida book, and I did want to read it like visually on the Kindle, but my library just didn't have it available. I didn't check my like in person. I was just going off of my Libby app. But I saw it was audio. I was like, you know what? Like, I already listened to one book. Let me try this again. And it's going really good. I think I'm a little bit more than halfway through. I think I'm in part 2 right now. And man, like some of the stuff, like I've called some of the little twists or like little things in the plot, but I'm really interested to see how the rest of it unfolds. And I think this is one in like a 3 or 4 part series. So I'm listening to that, and it's really good. I'm really liking it. Very suspenseful, thrillery, book. So I like it so far. I am still going through House. I haven't watched Gilmore Girls in a while. I might pick that up this week, but I've just really been enjoying like some action doctor-y stories. Listening, I've still been on my little Halloween vibes playlist, and we're going with it. I really like the playlist, and I'll have it linked down below for you. I feel like this was a bit of a quicker one. So let's wrap her on up with some 3 simple joys. Simple joy number 1 is frozen blueberries. Just about every morning I have a yogurt bowl for breakfast, and I either do like raspberries or strawberries, but blueberries were on sale last week at the store, and so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get some blueberries. I hardly eat them, and because I go back and forth. I feel like they need to be perfectly juicy. Like I don't like them when they're too soft. And then the first half of the container was great. Like they were great blueberries, but they started to soften really quickly. So I threw them in the freezer, and then I put them in my yogurt bowl like that. And it's really nice. I like it a lot. I'm like, I don't know why I never thought to freeze my blueberries and do this. They last heck of a lot longer. And it's just a nice way to change up my yogurt bowl. So I've been really enjoying frozen blueberries. Simple joy number 2. If you know me, and I never have talked about this on YouTube, I love the zoo, and I love elephants. Elephants are my absolute favorite animal. Well, the Fort Worth Zoo here in Texas is just announced that a new baby elephant was born. And it's a girl, and I am so excited. Like, I cannot wait to go to the zoo this year. We always try to go once, maybe twice a year, but it's hard because it's always hot in Texas. And we try to go once it's cool, but then there's all the crowds. So we really got to time it out. But we're definitely going to go this fall. I just don't know when yet. But a new baby elephant was born, and I am so excited. And they had voting on the name. I don't think they've officially announced the name yet. I think voting's still open. But I voted for the name, and I'm seriously so excited. So there's a new baby elephant in town. I celebrated by using my elephant mug. And then simple joy number 3 has been regular coffee. Lately, I've been doing either cold brew or just making lattes with like the instant espresso. But after a lot of lattes, I didn't want to like get tired of them. One, because I enjoy them a lot. But two, I wanted a break from them. And so I went back to just regular coffee. And it's been really nice. And I did try a new coffee bean. So I picked this up at the grocery store, and this is Lola Savannah fresh roasted coffee, and I got the original Texas pecan. And it is pecan, not pecan. So I got the pecan, and it is really good. Like, it smells so good. And like, I just do like a little bit of creamer, and it's so nice. So I appreciate just a good classic cup of coffee. And I never drink coffee black, but I can drink this black. Like, I do a creamer if I just want to make it a little bit more fancy, but I tried it black first before I put creamer in it just to see what I would think. I could drink it black. Really, really good. I don't think it's overly sweet, but it is like a tad on the sweeter side. Yeah, so I've really been enjoying a good old regular cup of coffee. All right, that's all I have for you. Piper's taking a nap. I think I'm going to clean up a bit and then knit on my projects. So that's pretty much it. I don't have too much cleaning to do today because I did a deep clean of the house yesterday. So I'm just gonna probably take a walk, relax, and knit some while I can while I have football on. I love the sound of knitting to the sound of football, so that'll be great. All right, so until next time, stay caffeinated.